Alright, so in this video we're going to make it so that we can add shares to the database. Okay, so first thing we want to do is let me close these out. We want to go to our controllers and then shares. And I'm just going to copy the index method that we have here. And let's create a method called add. Alright, so this is going to be new share model, that's fine. And then what we want to do is just change this index to add. Alright, so we'll save that. And now we have to go and create the add function or method inside of the model. So we'll go to the share model and let's see, we're just going to say public function add. Okay, so for right now we're just going to return. But this is actually where we'll be doing our query to insert into the database. Alright, so now if we go to our views, shares, and then add PHP, this is where we want to put our form. So what I want to do is get a panel from Bootstrap just to make it look a little better. So I believe if we go to components and then panels, I'm going to grab this code right here. Okay, and we'll just paste that in. Make sure you're in your add PHP file. Alright, so in the title here, we'll just say share something. And then in the body, this is where we want to put our form. Alright, so let's put a div with the class of form group. Alright, and this is strictly for style, these classes. Alright, then we'll do a label. Say share title. Input is going to have a type of text. We're going to give it a name of title and a class of form control. Alright, so that's the title. Let's just copy this now. Okay, so this one here will be the body. I'm going to change, actually we're going to change this to a text area. And text areas need an ending tag. Okay, and then this one here is going to be the link. Type is text. The name we're going to change to link. Alright, so now we need a submit button. So we'll say input. We're going to give it some class here. We'll say button and button primary. Alright, so let's give it a name of submit. And we also want to give it a type of submit. Okay, so that's our button. We need a value too. Okay, value is going to be submit. And then under that, what I want is just another button to cancel, to go back. Alright, so to exit the form. And we'll put an A tag with a class of btn. And then btn danger, which will make it red. Okay, then we need our href. And this will just say cancel. Okay, and then in the href, we're going to need our root path. Alright, so we'll say php echo root path and shares. Okay, so let's save that. Alright, and if we go back, okay, so now we have our form, and you can see we have a submit and a cancel button. So what we want to do now is go to our share model, and this is where we're going to catch the submission. Okay, first thing I want to do is sanitize the post array. Okay, so to do that, Let's create a variable called post. This will be filter input array, and then we're going to pass in input underscore post. That tells us that we want to deal with the post array, and then we'll say filter sanitize string. All right, and now what we'll do is we're going to check for a submission. So we'll say if post, remember we gave the button a name of submit. Okay, and then all we're going to do is just echo submitted. All right, so let's save that. And I think, yeah, we didn't add the form attributes yet. Okay, so let's say method equals post. All right, and then action. And we actually want this to be submitted to the same page. So what we can do is we can use the server super global. And in here we want to say PHP underscore self. Okay, that'll make it so we can submit to the same page. All right, so let's save that. Reload. And if I go ahead and click submit, you can see now we get submitted echoed out. All right, so that's exactly what we want for now. All right, so what we'll do here is when it's submitted, if you remember, our shares have a field for the date, and that was, I think we set that to default, will be the current date and time. So we shouldn't have to deal with that. All right, so we have the title, and we don't have to deal with the ID either. So we have a title, a body, a link, and a user ID. Let me just double check that. I'll say PHP my admin. Okay, so we want shareboard and then shares. All right, so yeah, we have a user ID, title, body. Since we don't have a user registration or login or anything like that, so we'll just put a 1 in there for now. All right, so let's go ahead and create our query. So we're gonna want, let's do insert into MySQL. Okay, so we'll say this query. Okay, and we want to say insert into shares. And then we're going to put in the different fields we want, which is title, body, link, and user ID. Okay, and then we'll have values. And this is where we're going to put our placeholders. So we have title, body, link, and user ID. Okay, so now we'll go below that. And this is where we want to do our data binding. Okay, so we're going to say this. And this is pretty much identical to what we did in the database class chapter or section. So this bind :title, and we want to bind the post value. So we'll say post title. All right, and we'll copy this. Okay, next we'll have the body. Then we need the link. Okay, and then we need the user ID. Now for now, like I said, we're not logged in or anything like that. So for now we're just going to put a 1. All right, and then we need to execute. So we'll say this execute. Okay, and then we're going to want to verify that. So we can say if this last insert ID, then what we'll do is we'll redirect. Okay, to do that, we're going to use the header function. Alright, so we want to say location, and we want to use our root URL. Oops, that should be a dot. And then shares. Alright, so let's save that. And then I just want to put a return after this if. Okay, so return. Save it. And let me just check on the base model real quick, which is classes model. Okay, so we don't have the last insert ID yet, so we need to create that. Last insert ID. Okay, and all we're going to do is return this dbh last insert ID. Alright, so let's go back to our form. Okay, so shares and then share something. And let's say test share. Okay, so let's go ahead and submit. Alright, so let's see. Let's just check the database. Okay, so if that didn't work, let's see if post submit. Let's look at the form. Okay, so we have input, text, name, title, form control, text area. Oh, we named this title. This needs to be body. And then this here names link. That's correct. So let's try it again. We'll say test share. There we go. Awesome. So down here you can see we have test share. Now, we probably want to order these so that the most recent is at the top. So that's really easy. We can just go to our share model, and up here where we're calling our select query, we can say order by create date, and then we want descending. Okay, we reload, and now the most recent is at the top. Okay. So I think we're good as far as the shares goes. We can read them, we can add them. Now the next thing that we need to work on is login and authentication and registration, because we don't want the user to be able to go to this page and submit a share unless they're logged in. Alright, so we'll get to that in the next video.